Imagine being the only person in a room who sees the truth, yet you choose to ignore it. This isn't weakness. It's the invisible force of conformity, shaping your every move. In a now infamous experiment, a participant sat with 7 others, all secretly working with the researcher. Their task was simple: match the length of a line on one card to 3 lines on another. The correct answer was obvious. Yet when the 7 Confederates unanimously chose the wrong line, the real participant began to doubt their own eyes. Roughly 75% of participants conformed at least once. Asch, 1956. This wasn't stupidity or poor eyesight. It was a profound demonstration of a force shaping every decision, from clothes to beliefs. Conformity is the act of matching attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors to group norms, the psychological glue holding societies together, enabling cooperation and shared understanding. But it's also the engine of groupthink, fashion trends, and political polarization. To understand conformity is to grasp the fundamental tension between belonging and authenticity. The scientific study of conformity began in the 1930s with Muzafer Sherif. He exploited the autokinetic effect. A stationary point of light in a dark room appears to move. Sherif placed participants alone, then in groups. Alone, each established their own range of movement. But in groups, their estimates converged into a shared norm, with participants unaware of the influence. Sherif called this informational influence. We conform because we assume the group knows something we don't, especially in ambiguous situations. Then Solomon Asch created his line judgment paradigm to test if people would conform when the answer was clear. The results shocked psychology. In the control condition, errors were under 1%. With group pressure, conformity soared to 36.8%. Asch, 1956. This was normative influence. We conform to be liked and avoid rejection, even knowing the group is wrong. Modern research refines Sherif and Asch's insights into a dual process model. Informational conformity involves genuinely changing private beliefs because we trust the group's judgment, rooted in epistemic need. Normative conformity means public compliance without private acceptance. We go along to get along. Neuroscientific evidence supports this distinction. In a study using fMRI, when individuals conformed to a group's incorrect judgment on a visual task, brain regions like the occipital cortex showed altered activity, suggesting genuine perceptual change. Burns et al., 2005. This isn't just social pressure, it's a neurobiological shift. The group's opinion literally alters how the brain processes information. When participants resisted conformity, they showed increased activity in the amygdala and caudate nucleus, regions linked to emotional arousal and social conflict. Conformity, it seems, is not just a social decision, but a biological one. In a landmark experiment, Gregory Burns scanned participants' brains during a mental rotation task. Participants saw the group's incorrect answer before giving their own. When they conformed, activity increased in the right fusiform gyrus and left intraparietal sulcus, areas involved in spatial perception. This suggests the group's opinion literally altered visual processing. But when participants resisted, the amygdala and caudate nucleus lit up, regions associated with emotional arousal and social conflict. Conformity, then, is a neurobiological process, not just a social choice. The brain rewires itself to align with the crowd, and resisting requires emotional effort. This explains why standing alone feels so uncomfortable. Our brains are wired to seek harmony, even at the cost of accuracy. The cost of independence is psychological distress, as Asch's participants reported intense discomfort when defying the majority. Asch found that conformity increases with group size, but only up to a point. With 1 Confederate, conformity was negligible. With 2, it rose to 13.6%. With 3 or more, it plateaued around 32%. Asch, 1956. The power of the majority depends on unanimity. When Asch introduced a single dissenter, even one giving a different wrong answer, conformity dropped by nearly 80%. A single ally dramatically reduces normative pressure. This is a powerful insight. You don't need a majority to resist. Just one voice of dissent can break the spell. The presence of a dissenter validates your own perception and reduces the fear of social rejection. This finding has profound implications for group decision-making, from boardrooms to juries. It shows that courage is contagious, and one person can change the dynamics of an entire group. Conformity varies dramatically across cultures. Harry Triandes distinguished between individualistic cultures like the United States and collectivist cultures like Japan. A meta-analysis of 133 studies across 17 countries found conformity rates significantly higher in collectivist societies, where group harmony is prioritized. Bond and Smith, 1996. This isn't a deficiency, but a different adaptive strategy. Conformity facilitates social cohesion and reciprocal obligation. The power of anonymity also matters. When participants in Asch-type paradigms give answers privately, conformity drops sharply. Without the fear of public judgment, people feel free to express their true beliefs. This explains why anonymous online environments can foster both honest dissent and extreme conformity, depending on the context. Understanding these cultural and situational factors helps us see conformity not as a flaw, but as a flexible tool shaped by our environment. Conformity is neither good nor bad, it's a survival instinct. Understanding it gives you the power to choose when to follow and when to stand alone.